evening, ladies and gentlemen, from a very wet and windy Central Park. Icy winter blows its first blast, as it were. There's been incessant rain at Wigan all afternoon, and just a few months ago there was a massive downpour of hailstones. The conditions coming across the M62, absolutely appalling. But Leeds here in full complement this evening and hoping to spring a surprise victory. Thought it would be a surprise because Leeds haven't won here since 1980 in league football, and 1983 was the last time they won here in any sort of football, when they defeated Wigan in the Premiership finals. And Leeds in fact have won only 7 times in all the meetings, league and cup, since the war. So Leeds looking for a good win today. The results have gone for them this afternoon, and it would be a great fillip for Leeds if they could win here this evening. So for Wigan, I'll give you the team. So Wigan, Steve Hampson is at full back, David Myers, Dean Bill, Joe Lydon and Sam Panapa, the 3/4, Sean Edwards and Andy Gregory, the half-backs. And this could be an interesting duel with Gary Schofield and of course Bobby Golding, Kelvin Skerritt, Martin Dermott and Andy Platt, the front three, Dennis Betts, Billy McGinty and Phil Clark. Phil Clark of course withdrew from the under-21 international injured, but he's fit for this evening. Martin Forshaw and Gildart are the substitutes. And for Leeds, Marvin Edwards is at full back. Phil Ford comes in straight from the international, 3 tries last week for Phil Ford. He goes straight back to the right wing. David Creases, Simon Irving in the centres, and John Bentley moving to the left wing to accommodate the removal of Carl Gibson, who has an injury. Gary Schofield and Bobby Golding, the half-backs, Steve Malloy. Richard Gunn gets his first full game of the season. Hooker Mike O'Neill, Roy Powell, Matt Shaw, Gary Devotee, and Gary Stevens and Vince Fawcett, the substitutes. And this evening's referee is Mr. Colin Morris. So I've seen his set. We're going to kick off, and they're playing from right to left as you look at it. We can get this game underway, and that's a long deep kick, and Phil Ford running the ball out, and Ford met that by a posse of Wigan tacklers there. And Leeds will need to move this ball away from the danger area. Conditions there absolutely appalling, the ball like a bar of soap, and they won't want to be losing that ball in the 25 situation. Use the forwards to drive, and then I think we'll see early kicking in the tackle count. Richard Gunn, who had a superb game last week against St Helens, he's in this week. Colin Maskill injured his knee, told me before the game it was very sore. Mike O'Neill, that's good running there from the former Widnes forward, and that's going back this time. And Gary Schofield, captain for the night, in the absence of Ellery Hanley, will put the kick in. And Steve Hampson will run that ball back. Oh, and that's good tackling again there from number 12, Matt Shaw, on loan from York, up quickly. Panapa. Again moving that ball with Sean Edwards, and Skerritt bounces out of a tackle there. The 6th tackle coming up now, and Wigan keeping the pressure on from the kick-off. It's a high ball from Andy Gregory, and safely taken by Marvin Edwards. Got good quick cover from Wigan. Gary Schofield, and Dennis Betts there. Cop to Gary Schofield, hand off in the face, I feel. That's right, Powell. Mike O'Neill. The lead still pending along this 22, and Gary Schofield put the kick in this time. That's a better kick from Schofield. Hampson will have to stop that one, and that should give Leeds a chance to move up. And this they do, and this time it's about 10 metres inside the Wigan Leeds half of the field. Myers comes in from the wing, had a tremendous game on Wednesday evening in the under-21 international, scored 3 tries. And another player who did everything there correct was Bobby Golding, who had a superb organising game. And there he is, he'll be keen to make an impression this evening against his old team. Hampson, that's a good ball there, and back inside to Lydon. And Lydon's dragged down. Over on the far side. Edwards now. Good run there from Billy McGinty, former Warrington player. 6 tackle coming up. What we can do now, Sean Edwards. This is dangerous for Leeds. And well picked up for Leeds there by, I think, Richard Gunn. Difficult to see our commentary position lower than normal to facilitate the British Sky broadcasting who are showing this match live. Leeds moving that ball in the danger area as far as they're concerned. Devorty. Larry Devorty back in the side because of the injury to Larry Hanley. And Simon Irvine, and Leeds move this ball away now. John Bentley. Bentley comes inside, pushes men off. And ball there, slipping from John Bentley's grasp, and that's first sign of the Leeds attacking potential. So we've an injury, and Mr. Morris stops the clock, and that's as he's wont to do. So good work there between the Leeds backs. Simon Irvine, John Bentley, resulting in John Bentley coming up to halfway before ball slipped from his grasp in the tackle of Andy Gregory. Ball must be like a bar of soap already. Terrible conditions this evening. So Mr. Morris signals a clock to restart, and ball's out to Wigan. Good tackling there from Leeds, Gary Schofield and Simon Irvine in the middle of the field on Dean Bell, former Leeds player of course. Edwards switches play and gets the ball away to Gregory. Run around there, Myers coming in. Matt Shaw just hauling him to the ground. Oh, clever football there from Wigan, that's good play. Leeds alert at the tackle. This ball coming out, Amson gliding through there, that ball knocked down. And forward finally kicking the ball in a touch, so that'll be scrum down, that'll be head and ball. So Wigan just outside the Leeds 22. Scrum collapses, and a penalty there given to Leeds. And the crowd at the side of me don't like that. Mr. Morris saying that Wigan collapse the pack. So Gary Schofield is going to kick towards our commentary position. Finds touch on halfway. So it'll be Gunn to take the tap for Leeds. And Steve Malloy, keen to make an impression. Steve Malloy's been wanting a chance in the first team. Played last week against St Helens. Goal in now. Gary Schofield took a difficult ball there. Sean Edwards spotting that one. And the ball goes backwards. Roy Powell in possession for Leeds. Gunn does some acting half. A high tackle there. And a bit of second penalty there. Richard Gunn on the receiving end of a wild tackle. Andy Platt, I think. So this sets Leeds up in position now. It's 10 metres or so outside the Wigan 22. Steve Malloy again just gets over the advantage line and into that 22. Powell missed out. Schofield, Golding. Golding's through, almost through, slips there. Good play from Bobby Golding. Schofield, lovely long ball. Simon Irvine spots the gap, goes. And a lovely ball there again to Schofield. Leeds keeping that ball moving and knees in the tackle there on Bobby Golding. Schofield again, this is better play from Leeds. Matt Shaw knocks on. And the ball's out to Myers, and you can hear the roar of the crowd as Myers sets his stall out, but John Bentley turns Bentley inside out. And a good run there, all of 60 yards. Wigan got a roll on now. Panapa coming inside. Dennis Betts. Well, Leeds will be well aware, even at this early stage, of how important it is, how dangerous Wigan are from lost ball situations, broken play situations. Play a typical Australian game, move the ball quickly at any situation, don't tackle it in and settle it down. Sean Edwards' long ball out there, but that's a bad pass and that's gone straight in a touch. So Leeds will have the first come with head and ball of the evening. It's out to Leeds. Leeds, as they have been for quite some time, pinned down in this area as Steve Malloy tries to break clear of his 22 and get his body over the advantage line, and I think that advantage line will be broken now as Gary Schofield kicks, and that sends Steve Hampson scurrying, but that finds a good touch just inside, in fact just inside 10 metres inside the Wigan half of the field. And so far Wigan have had most of the territorial advantage, but Leeds have shown what they can do on the break. And only a drop ball preventing a score. That's balls out to Wigan. And Dean Bell. The Wigan centre's numbered the wrong way around. Number 3 is in fact Lydon. And 4 is Bell. Skid there, making a typical Kelvin Skid break down that far side. Marvin Edwards moves across the tackle, not a good ball, but it's picked up there by Lydon, who's stumbling, and that's easy prey for the Leeds tacklers. 6 tackle coming up, so Marvin Edwards can expect a high bomb this time. Joe Lydon pops that one over the line, that's hanging in the air. Well taken by Gary Schofield for Leeds. Leeds trying to move that ball away with Gary Devote. Richie Gunn looks for runners, finds Roy Powell. Roy Powell immediately finds Dennis Betts heading towards him. Schofield moving that ball again. Marvin Edwards, slight suspicion of a knock-on. The crowd certainly thinks so, but referee Mr Morris either doesn't think that was a knock-on or didn't see it. And Leeds keeping this ball moving, that's good play. Creaser, ball's out to Ford now then. Ford twisting, turning, bobbing, weaving. Strange up now and he's down the middle of the field. Let's go running from Ford. And Betts wrapping him up, man and ball, just short of halfway. Kick will come in from Golding. That's for Steve Hampson, and he takes that well in the conditions and runs it back towards the Leeds tacklers, of which Bobby Golding's the first one up following his own kick. There's still no score here at Central Park. We've been playing for 11.5 minutes. And the penalty there. First Wigan's first penalty awarded against Steve Malloy it was for holding down in the tackle. Joe Lydon comes a high spinning ball. Run around there. Panapa coming in off his wing. Billy McGinty. And we can now the switch with Sean Edwards and Andy Gregory. Edwards spots a gap there, and that's a good tackle from Matt Shaw. Sean Edwards looking to exploit the youngsters' immaturity there. And Mike O'Neill wrestles Martin Dermott to the floor. Slide kick there put in. Well picked up by Gary Schofield. And Schofield showing all his experience and having to evade touch. Marvin Edwards does an even better job bringing that ball away from the touchline side. Powell. 3 men in at the tackle, 4 in fact in there on Roy Powell. And Wigan's defence, as ever, holding firm. This is the area where Wigan are so dangerous from broken play. Steve Malloy showing the ball. Ball's gone loose. And that's a penalty there, awarded against Wigan. So Leeds, 3rd penalty of the evening. Gary Schofield finds touch on halfway. Gunn now. I'll give Mike O'Neill a run. Schofield looking for that ball and bringing runners on. Gary Devotee. Schofield again. Simon Irving. Dummies. Wigan halfbacks wrestle him to the floor. Chiggon goes himself, makes 10 metres. Andy Gregory telling people where to go as the 6th tackle approaches. Steve Hampson safely taking that ball. Matt Shaw again up quickly, wrapping up Steve Hampson. Let's get it. Penalty awarded against Leeds. On the intervention of a touch judge, I think. Andy Platt, first receiver. Phil Clark, don't see much of Philip Clark this evening. His father Colin sat behind me in the stand. Should have kept him in the 21s, as I said in the preview. Was out injured and allowing Bobby Goulding from Leeds to have the honour. Edwards there, looking for the run around, goes himself. Well spotted by Leeds. 6th tackle coming up. Wigan just hovering around the Leeds 22. Gregory's kick is picked up by John Bentley, who comes in field. Evades the first man and the second. Schofield. It's good play from the lead skipper. Matt Shaw going up the middle of the field. The youngster certainly learned. Looks a much better player than he did last week against St Helens. Week's training with Leeds and working on the moves. That's a good tackle there from Skerritt, and you lay the applause of the crowd on Steve Malloy. Richard Gunn goes from acting half. 6th tackle coming up, and Goulding will put a quick ball back to Schofield, will he? That's what Wigan think, but he doesn't. In fact, he kicks himself and kicks into space and leads up quickly in Bobby Goulding. A mistake there from Colin Morris because Leeds weren't offside. Bobby Goulding put all the men onside. So Morris signalling that Leeds were offside. Philip Clark wrestled to the floor. And again Leeds. It's a good ball to Dennis Betts. And that's a good tackle from David Creaser. What a season David Creaser's having for Leeds. That's a scrum. Dennis Betts lost that ball there as he was getting up to play it. Certainly no interference from the Leeds contingent. And Mr Morris right on the spot. And that's a play we're going to have used in the past to good effect. So the scrum will come to Leeds. Bobby Golding. That ball in Schofield, kicks for Ford. That's clever play for Ford. If this bounces right, this could be a try for Leeds. This is a try for Leeds, yes, a try there to Phil Ford, and the crowd behind the Rathbones Brendan go absolutely berserk. What a superb kick from Gary Schofield, well thought out there. And Phil Ford, ever alert, straight on, scores a first try. So 18 minutes gone, Leeds taking the lead. With a try to Phil Ford. Just watch that again on the replay. Wigan losing the ball in the scrum. Ball coming out on the short side from Bobby Golding. Gary Schofield told Phil Ford exactly what he's going to do. Kicked over. Ford winning the race for the touchdown despite the attention of Sean Edwards. Steve Hampson very flat in the line. And Phil Ford, we're delighted. That's 4 tries in 2 matches for Phil. He's certainly back in the lead side with a vengeance. Just the sort of start Leeds have wanted. Said it's 11 seasons since Leeds won a league match here at Central Park. And they're currently leading by 4 points to 0. We've been playing 19 minutes on the clock now, but again Mr. Morris stops the clock for some reason. Touch judge just sending Wigan man off. Well, what an absolutely disgraceful exhibition from Colin Morris, the referee there. He never told Simon Irvine he'd stop the clock. Simon Irvine had his back to him, and now he's ruled out a perfectly legitimate goal because of some idiot from Wigan coaching staff who shouldn't have been on the field. The new rule in rugby league is that only the physio can come on the field, no men with drinks. And Wigan doing that, so Simon Irvine has to take this kick again. Well, Colin Morris, absolutely no regard for the player at all. And there was no reason at all why Simon Irvine couldn't be allowed to kick that goal. The only interference was with his line of sight. Only the physiotherapist allowed on the field. And John Gallagher runs on with his hand, so Simon Irvine has this kick again. And no doubt this time he'll not be successful. Pops it in, and that's justice, because that's a great conversion from Simon Irvine. So 6-0 Leeds take the lead, and after 2 misses last week from Simon, that'll have done his confidence a world of good. Wigan now, and this is when Wigan are at their day most dangerous. Straight when a try's been scored, they'll be keen to get back. Straight away a long kick. It's picked up by Ford, the hero for Leeds. Steve Malloy rocked back there, good tackle from Wigan. Of course Wigan missing Andy Goodway in the forwards, and of course Ian Lucas. In the back, Stu Miles, who sat behind me in the stand. He's injured, good ball out of the tackle there from Gunter Powell. And Leeds missing Ellery Hanley and a whole pack of players out. Dixon, Cavalier, Maskill, Sean Wayne. And Myers safely takes that ball. Good tackling there from the Leeds centre pairing. Simon Irvine, John Bentley over on that far side, centre and winger. Gregory brings Phil Clark on a run. And tipped to the future Great Britain captain Philip Clark. What a tremendous impact he's made on the game in such a short space of time. And one man who certainly has is this man, Sean Edwards. Dean Bell, Knapper, trying to stand Phil Ford up. In fact, he managed it, but Ford gets him at the second attempt. And Gregory switching play again. Jinking, weaving, going himself. And Wigan piling that pressure on. 6 tackle coming up. And Wigan supporters around me, and there are plenty tonight. wanting some action here, Sean Edwards. Simon Irvine intercepts. Doesn't get very far, Sean Edwards. Quickly sorts himself out. A bit of an opportunity to try for Phil Ford, the difference between the two sides. We've got 23 minutes on the clock. Powell. And Powell's lost that ball in the tackle, and we can have it now, and Leeds will have to withstand some pressure. Richard Gunn involved there, and 10 metres more for arguing. So I'm sure we can have a pot at goal now. A spot of videoing, not very high up, but well placed, bang on the halfway line. Cold wind now blowing across Central Park, but the rain thankfully has stopped. Joe Lydon lines his kick up, but Wigan back to 6 points to 2 if he's successful. And he's missed it. And that's a bit of a let off for Leeds, because that was fully kickable. And so Gary Schofield will drop out on the 25. 22 as it's now known. And Dennis Betts picks it up on the halfway line. And Leeds certainly fired up, 3 men in there at the tackle. Andy Platt, what a great forward Andy Platt is. Tremendous work rate. Picked up for Leeds by Bobby Golding with a little bit of help from Mike O'Neill there. The Leeds have a chance to move this ball away from the danger zone. Come switching play, and Powell on the short side, moving that ball 15 metres or so from the halfway line. Devotee. Schofield will put the kick in this time. Watching Steve Hampson. Steve Hampson will have to run back and kick it up. And Steve Hampson comes down the side, going straight at Ford and Creaser. And Creaser hanging on. Tremendous tackler, David Creaser. And Panapa, former Sheffield Eagles star, spinning out of the tackles. And the Platt. Wigan just on the halfway line. Gregory, Skirrit. This time Simon Irvine bringing him down. It's a good ball there out to Myers from Sean Edwards. And Myers coming in field, and John Bentley, Simon Irvine wrapping him up. Well, Lydon puts the ball up, and the drizzle had stopped to start it again. Lydon catches his own kick, in fact. Wigan there taking fortuitous bouncing of that ball and getting 6 more tackles, but not for long, because Leeds have it. Billy McGinty not very happy about that. Felt that he should have had a man in support, so Leeds a bit unlucky and then lucky. Roy Powell moving that ball away. Devotee splitting the defence, almost just got round his legs by Kelvin Skirrit. The rain coming down now and blowing towards our commentary position. Schofield. Long deep kick over the head of Steve Hampson, and that'll run and run probably, but it won't run out. It stops over the try line, and Hampson sets Myers off on a run. Bentley's with him all the way. And here come Wigan. What a great run from Dennis Betts. Good tackle in there from Marvin Edwards. Leeds judging to have held him down too long there. That's the third penalty of this half to Wigan. Joe Lydon. Goal kick for touch, I think. Doesn't find it. Go forward, picks it up. And Lydon up quickly. Knocking forward back. Steve Malloy. Right, Powell, let's go running from the big fella. Richard gone. Shaw. Finds touch, and Gregory kicking on, and it's a tap on the 25, so a bad pass back from Leeds and kicked on there, and the crowd on their feet. And Gregory looked like it would have maybe won the chase for the touchdown, but the ball went dead, touching goal. And Bentley, first time tonight, infield from a tap. Steve Malloy. Schofield. Matt Shaw. And this youngster so far done absolutely nothing wrong this evening. Schofield's kick is high and spinning, and it's safely in the arms of Steve Hampson. What a superb take there from Hampson. He's got the winger with him. And David Creaser hanging on. And injured there in that tackle, David Creaser. Stuart Walker will be appearing. In fact, he's already appeared on the touchline side. It's like a bit of a dead leg from David. Andy Gregory. Oh, dummy in there, Andy Gregory. He's got players with him. Panappa. Just tackle there short. That's good play from Leeds, and Wigan exploiting David Creaser. Philip Clark. Oh, Wigan must score here. They have a massive overlap, but that's a knock-on. 5-man overlap there from Wigan, and a knock-on in the middle of the field. So that's a lucky let off for Leeds, and Wigan exploiting that dangerous area where David Creaser was injured. So scrum will form. But Golding gets it out for Leeds. John Bentley in the middle of the field. Simon Irving in. Bentley again going from acting half, bringing play away from the danger area as far as Leeds concerned. Schofield, Divorti. Both sides playing adventurous attacking football. 57,000 at Twickenham yesterday won't have seen a game anywhere near as good as this. And Lloyd Powell losing the ball. And Gregory picks it up eventually for Wigan, and he's dragged back towards the halfway line by Mike O'Neill and Marvin Edwards. Well, certainly no quarter asked and none being given. Leeds all offside. Penalties currently standing at 4-3 to Wigan, and the scrums 3-4 to Wigan. And touch found, and I think that came off Phil Ford. So Wigan will certainly have some pressure here. They've got a scrum with head and ball. 32 minutes on the clock, but of course there's a bit of stoppage time. 10 minutes or so left to play in this first half, and I think David Creaser is going to have to come off the field, which is a sad blow for Leeds. Leeds certainly picking up more than their fair share of injuries so far. Edwards. picked up by Ford. And Wigan putting that ball down again there. Penalty. But that's enough penalty. Mr. Morris stopping the clock. Another Leeds player down injured. Can't quite see who that is. Looks like Marvin Edwards. David Creason, I think, going to have to come off the field. John Gallagher's got the number 3. Board in his hand. Creason struggling, looks like he's taking a knock on the hip area. I'm going to have to come off David Creason. That's a sad blow for Leeds. David Creason in fine form this season. And Vince Fawcett comes on. Vince Fawcett will go on the wing and John Bentley will come into the centre. This side. Richard Gunn. We're getting up quickly and pulling him down. Leeds losing ground there. And Steve Malloy. Philip Clark brings him down. Schofield. Well, certainly in the battle of the half-backs this evening, Bobby Golding and Gary Schofield have lost nothing in comparison with this illustrious pair of Andy Gregory and Sean Edwards. Schofield, of course, the current Great Britain standoff, and certainly in the squad for next week's international against Papua New Guinea here at Central Park. Be interesting to see what side Malcolm really picks. Papua New Guinea just going down by only 2 points to the humble side select this afternoon after 2 merciless drubbings. Mr. Morris says that ball went backwards. McGinty. That was Andy. Six tackle coming up now. What will we can do? It's kicked down. Sean Edwards is a mile downtown, a mile offside. Marvin Edwards picks it up. Play on, says Mr. Morris, and Sean Edwards miles offside as that kick was put through. And Wigan certainly fired up and tackling, keeping Leeds and down in this area. Schofield puts a kick in. And Wigan certainly, as I said earlier, had the territorial advantage. That's a superb touch-finding kick from Gary Schofield. Leeds still leading by 6 points to nil. Opportunity strike from Phil Ford following the clever kick from Gary Schofield. And Stuart Walker, I can see, working feverishly below us to try and get David Creason back to something like fitness. The luck that Leeds are having these days, he's liable to be have to come back on again. And Andy Gregory to feed the scrum. Edwards, we're going to bring Myers in on a gallop. A good tackle in the middle of the field. Phil Clark dummy in and John Bentley got his Schofield bringing him down. Edwards goes himself, suddenly looks to have nowhere to go. Sean Edwards. Gregory, in for the run around. Straight in the arms of John Bentley there off of Dean Bell. Quickly alert there, John Bentley. Schofield. Goes himself, just settling play down. Leeds will look for runners here, and Richard Gunn. He's not sure, and that's a forward pass. Mr. Morris, not best place to see there, but gave the crowd the benefit of the doubt. I think the crowd shouted, it looks like a little forward from where I was stood. And Gregory feeds that scrum again. Well, we can certainly have plenty of possession this half. And at the moment, both these sides look evenly matched. Sean Edwards, Panapa, 37 minutes gone on the clock. Picked up by Phil Ford, and Ford's away, and that's a try to Leeds. And Ford can go under the post because nobody's going to catch Phil Ford. That's a superb. Again, an individual try to Leeds. Ford's in for his second try of the evening. And Wigan suddenly on the rack now. Just picking up a loose ball. Wigan been dropping ball at 6s and 7s all evening. And Ford's in. And the Leeds contingent on the popular side there under the Rathbones Bread in. Of course, the Rathbones Bread advertisement gone. Doesn't look like Wigan without that. So Leeds have a 12 points to 0 lead. And good play again from Phil Ford, and good play there from John Bentley earlier on to catch that bouncing, rebounding ball and set that position up. And Gary Schofield just having a few words to say to the Leeds team as they're gathered on halfway. Simon Irving has the kick, which by his standards is very simple in front of the post. Safely through the middle, and Leeds have a 12 points to 0 advantage here coming up towards half time. Wigan at the most dangerous when they're behind. I always feel that Wigan at the most dangerous just when you've scored against them. You just seem to relax for a few seconds, and they've got the players, the Edwards, the Gregories, the Lydens, the Bells to exploit. Right, Steve Hampson kicks off, and this time it's spinning. It's a shorter kick off, and it's going to be picked up by Gary Divordi. And 3 Wigan men up quickly there, almost as quick as their ball. Mike O'Neill. Schofield looking for that half break. Very strong now in the tackle, Gary Schofield. Strong, takes some pulling down. Now Powell and the crowd shouting Yorkshire. Ball's back for the kick. That's touched, it's all on. Vince Fawcett there. 6 more tackles to Leeds. Oh, and a bad pass there, and that's well picked up by Matt Shaw. Leeds losing a little bit of advantage there. It was touched by a Wigan player in flight. Well, Leeds piling the pressure as we come towards half time. This is a great display this evening from the Loiners. Schofield brings Roy Powell on a gallop. Powell ducking under the swinging arm there from Kelvin Skirrett. Schofield using the short side. It's a long ball, that's out to Vince Fawcett. And Fawcett powering his way towards that line. He's deep inside the 22. 6 tackle coming up. Golding, what will he do? Golding still running with the ball. Powell going for the line. 6 tackle there. Leeds just still short on the turnover. Well, that's enterprising play from Leeds. Vince Fawcett up quickly when that attempted charge down kick went wrong for Wigan, and Leeds up in numbers now and keeping Wigan pinned down here. Phil Clark steps out of a tackle, brings play back up towards the 22, and Myers. John Bentley signalling the Leeds cover to get across here, and you can hear the Wigan fans now cheering Dean Bell. Puts Panappan on the inside, and John Bentley wraps him up and brings him down. And there in fact goes a hooter for half time with the news here from Central Park that Leeds are winning by 12 points to 0. And it was Leeds that opened the scoring, obviously, if the Wigan a 0 on the 18th minute with a try from Phil Ford after the scrum. Wigan lost the ball, a scrum form, Leeds got the ball, Gary Schofield kicked over right down into the corner, and Phil Ford was the first to the touchdown, the ball stopping just over the line, and then Ford picked up a loose ball 20 minutes later on 38 minutes, over under the post. Irving converting, and that's how it stands here at Central Park then. Wigan 0, Leeds 12. Gary Schofield gets the second half underway, with Leeds leading by those 12 points to nil, courtesy of the 2 tries to Phil Ford. And I'm sure Doug Lawton has told the boys at half time just to settle it down and make sure that tackling's good. Leeds can't afford Wigan to let Wigan run anything from broken play. Best side probably in this country, if not the world, at running from broken play situations. Play reminds me very much of the Canberra Raiders side. Gregory puts the kick in. That's for Marvin Edwards, and that's bouncing for Marvin Edwards. And he picks it up and moves away and spins out of the tackle, but Betts gets him at the second attempt. That's good play from Wigan. Up quickly. Vince Fawcett on a run. And David Creasy just running up the touchline trying to run off that knock. I think it looked like a dead leg. Steve Malloy. Matt Shaw. Mike O'Neill now running that ball up towards halfway. Gets over that line. And 6th tackle coming up, so his left-footed kick is going to bounce. Sam Panapa it is who picks it up to have knocked on, but Andy Platt now powering up the middle of the field. He's lost the ball. And a knock on. Mr. Morris says that's scrum with head and ball to Leeds. And just the sort of start Leeds wanted, in possession on the halfway line, should get the ball from this scrum. Oh indeed, Bobby Golding comes round the blind side, still goes, struggles over the halfway. It's a 4th Leeds scrum. The scrum's currently 7-4 at Wigan, and the penalties 4-3 to the men from Central Park. Marvin Edwards in the line. The 40. So Andy Gregory really fired up now, broken thumb or not, as you'll hear the cheers of the Wigan crowd. Sure. And that's good tackling from Wigan. Pushing Leeds back at every tackle. Gunn goes from acting half, that's better play, that's into the Wigan half of the field. 6th tackle coming up, play just about where the scrum formed. Golding will put the kick in. Spins across and Hampson's going to get there before the ball reaches the touchline. Myers running across the field, going absolutely nowhere. That's good play from Leeds, keeping him down there. And Napa coming in now. Wigan certainly missing such as James Miles this evening. Let's get it. Good tackle from Simon Irving. Simon Irving was caught out by Skelvin. Got its first run at him this evening, but he hasn't missed him once since. It's a good ball to Edwards. And we're going to have an overlap now. Sixth tackle coming up. Gregory puts a kick through. And picked up for Leeds by Mike O'Neill and brought away from the danger area up to the 22. Kick back, so there'll be 6 more. Chingun spots the gap, goes from acting half, makes good ground before Dermot pulls him down. This time Golding quickly up to acting half back. Schofield. Just again, Gary Schofield looking for that half break. Howell. Leeds bringing that ball away. Howell struggling to get to his feet. Schofield. Well taken by Steve Hampson. Not easy in these wet conditions. Hampson comes towards the touchline side and Simon Irving wrapping him up. Betts trying to go there. Good 3 Leeds men in at the tackle. That's good play from Leeds. Phil Clark over the halfway line. Well, Wigan certainly come out fired up, but Leeds Sean Edwards chinking and waving and struggling. That ball went back, says Mr. Morris. Panapa spots the gap on the blind side. Makes his 10 metres before he's brought down by Roy Powell. And here come Wigan now, Andy Gregory running with the ball. Myers. Oh, Myers has sent everybody the wrong way. Is he going to score? No, he just slips there. Oh, how the hell did David Myers not score there? No one will ever know. He tried to come too far in near the post and ended up slipping at the feet of Phil Ford and Marvin Edwards. Well, only David Myers and the almighty above will know how he never scored then. And that's a real let-off for Leeds. Running the ball on the sixth tackle. Devoty. And the Wigan crowd really behind the lads from Central Park. Great atmosphere here this evening. Schofield will put the kick in. This time it's behind Hampson. And certainly Dougie Lawton will have told Leeds that this 12 points lead is not going to be enough. Dean Bell. Gregory using that short side. Lovely ball there to Edwards. Brought down by Devoty. The Leeds certainly under the cosh at the moment as regards territorial advantage. Skirry powers his way into the 22. Wigan using that short side now with Gregory. Edwards can't get the ball out, it's gone loose. And Leeds in possession again as Wigan putting that ball down. Richard Gonal. And Schofield on the gallop. Here come Leeds now, it's Simon Irving. Prince Fawcett gallops out, he's got Marvin Edwards with him. Should be a try here to Leeds. Oh, Marvin Edwards has slipped now. So how did Leeds not manage to score there? Again, the same situation applies. Marvin Edwards just slipped as Fawcett gave him that ball. Schofield now using the short side. Mike O'Neill going for the line. Leeds pushing on, strong position. Tremendous play from Leeds. Come all the 60 yards. Schofield going for the line himself. Golding picks it up, but that's a knock on there. And the referee spots this one. Well, this is certainly end-to-end stuff. Anybody here tonight can't be disappointed. What a tremendous game of football. Leeds look certain scorers then as Simon Irving made that break. Marvin Edwards just slipping at the vital moment with the try line begging. Well, that's a scrum out to Wigan. Clark well wrapped up by Matt Shoreham, Bobby Golding. And Wigan now, that's a bad pass and that's put Wigan under pressure. They're in possession but they're right on their own line. Dennis Betts, 12 points, 8 minutes gone. 12 points to nil, Leeds in the lead. Dean Bell, former Leeds player, played here in the 1984 John Player winning side. Picked up for Leeds by John Bentley. A terrible pass out of the tackle there from Martin Dermott. Mike O'Neill. Schofield in the middle of the field. Golding, junking, dodging. Good tackling there on Bobby Golding, spotting him. Richard Gunn goes for the line, dodges himself. Just a yard short, can't get the pass away. Six tackle coming up, Gunn's within a yard of the line. A knock on there, and as that's a six tackle, that'll be Wigan. Penalty awarded against Richard Gunn again there for something that happened in that tackle. Just holding down, says Colin Morris. So the fifth Wigan penalty of the game will give them a chance to clear their line. Tremendous pressure there from Leeds. Blyden finds touch, just On the 22, I think, difficult to see. The rain washed away the chalk. Gregory can put on a run around. Skirrit. Dennis Betts. Skirrit involved there, and absolutely no right to be involved there. It's nothing to do with Skirrit. Edwards running around with Gregory. Edwards again, it's good play. Leeds having wrapped up and play almost up to halfway. Gregory running again with that ball, very dangerous. Six tackle coming up now. And Myers just kicking that loose ball. Leiden will put the kick in. Marvin Edwards has it for Leeds and brings it back. That's good running from Edwards. Simon Irving. Malloy in the middle of the field. It's a good break from Steve Malloy. Almost up to halfway. Leeds turn to put some pressure on Wigan. John Bentley goes. Gets over the advantage line again. Chigun going from acting half. Just taking play now. Six tackle coming up forward. Look for Schofield with the pass. And Schofield will put the kick up. Spinning, it's down there. It's for David Myers. Myers runs straight into Simon Irving and Vince Fawcett. Skirrit. It's a lovely ball there to Gregory, and Gregory again running with his ball, and Edwards has got Panapa with him. John Bentley, it's a good tackle from John Bentley. And again John Bentley there, six tackle. Leeds fired up now. Gregory puts the kick in. Edwards looks for the gap. It's the first man. The rain absolutely siling down now. Powell. Had a good captain's performance this evening from Gary Schofield. Driving his men on. Chid Gunn. Very keen to impress Richie Gunn. Only wanted a chance and now he's got one. Certainly hasn't done anything wrong tonight. Had a great game last week. Bobby Golding thinking and dodging his way through, pushing men off. And Bobby Golding didn't think he was tackled there. Mr. Morris says he was. So we're going to have another penalty. They've certainly mowed the penalties and the scrums this evening. Now Dean Bell sets Myers on the gallop. Roy Powell covering like a good second goal forward. Skirrit. Good tackling from Leeds. And Pat will have a drive there. And now the oracle will be worked. Andy Gregory's at first receiver. What will he do? Throwing a long ball out there. Dennis Betts. Stepping out of tackles, Dennis Betts. What a strong runner Dennis Betts is. Myers wants this ball out here, Leeds. Have men short on the far side. Dermot goes from acting half back. Six tackle coming up. Ball's moving out now. Gregory a long pass out there. And Platt picks the ball up. And Skirrit knocks on, and that should be the sixth tackle, therefore that should be the turnover. That scrum has been awarded, saying that Leeds knocked that ball a hand. So it'll be a scrum, but it'll be a ball to Leeds. Should really be the turnover. I didn't see anything untoward in that, but Mr. Morris was nearer than I am, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So Bobby Golding will feed this scrum. Been playing 14 minutes of this second half. Goulding comes round. Puts that ball in. That's out to Leeds. By Powell. Got a tremendous amount of work in attack and defence tonight, Roy Powell. Schofield. Bringing Mike O'Neill on a run. And O'Neill looking to offload that ball. Wisely, I think, judging against it there. Go for it, dodging, goes himself. Roy Powell. 6 tackle coming up. What will Leeds do now? Well, Goulding has the ball, they put the kick in. Spins long, it's going to be picked up by Myers on his own line. He's got Hampson with him. Comes out, but only as final as Gary Devotee, who's up quickly to make a good tackle. Dermot runs from acting half. A good tackle there again on Billy McGinty from Leeds. Leeds certainly keeping Wigan penned down under Gregory. Scott Skerritt there. Bobby Goulding brings Skerritt down. That's a great tackle there from a little man on a big man. Betts will put the kick in, will he? Schofield picks that ball up, comes away from the touchline side. Play right down in front of our position, Schofield. Simon Irving. Schofield finds Richard Gunn. Vince Fawcett. Over the halfway line, that's good play from Leeds, just keeping that ball and moving it along the line, waiting for the gaps to appear. Malloy, bursting out of tackles, good running from Steve Malloy. And a good game this evening, the prop, Richard Gunn, running with the ball. Bentley, well spotted there, that was a good tackle on John Bentley. And that's Stevens kicking through. But that's certainly escaped me, the fact that Gareth Stevens is on the field, and certainly no mention of it as far as the Wigan public address system. So it looks like he's on for Phil Ford. Dean Bell. Oh, great tackle on Dean Bell there. That's superb play from Leeds. Leeds keeping up the pressure on Wigan, giving them absolutely no room to move. Gregory just throwing that ball anywhere, and Dennis Betts just pushed back and Skerritt involved again there. 6 tackle coming up, Wigan making absolutely no ground. Sean Edwards will soon alter that with the kick. But Phil Ford has gone to full back. It's very difficult to see what's going on here. It looks like Marvin Edwards that's come off. Ford running out, straightening up now. A good tackle on Ford eventually. John Bentley in the middle of the field. Moving across now. It's always Bentley. John Bentley's going to score the try of his life! That's a superb try from John Bentley, and anybody who watches Leeds can know that John Bentley can do that every match if he only had the confidence to do it. Just showed the ball to Hampson, took him on the outside, and Leeds, surely they're home and dry now. But this is a tremendous performance from a very weakened Leeds side with the whole pack out, and John Bentley's just gone there 65, 70 yards from first receiver and run right through the Wigan defence, left Hampson for dead, stepped out of his tackle and has gone round, and Leeds going further ahead now on the 19th minute of this second half. Oh, great run there from John Bentley, and that'll have done his confidence a world of good. Oh, that Dougie Lawton rates John Bentley. So Leeds 18 points, 16 points should I say, and counting my chickens before that. And the Leeds supporters up there in the far end singing now, and plenty to sing about. So Simon Irving with his kick, the rain absolutely teaming it down now. Strikes it well and straight between the uprights. 18 points to nil. Leeds in the lead. And a superb performance from Leeds this evening. 20 minutes gone now this second half, so 20 minutes to go for glory for Leeds. And surely they won't let an 18-point lead slip like they did at Wakefield. They've tackled like Trojans this evening. A Wigan pack, a full pack of forwards out injured. And Wigan kicking off with Steve Hampson and John Bentley there, the hero tonight. Roy Powell coming down the middle of the field. Schofield. Golding, Schofield. Mike O'Neill. Sixth tackle coming up now. Golding will put this kick in, that's high and spinning, and Steve Hampson's under it, but it's going to go over his head. Matt Short quickly. The Leeds make the tackle. Philip Clark. Seen much of Philip Clark this evening. A Wigan supporter telling me at half-time that Philip Clark hasn't played much this evening. Certainly looks like a man who's had a few weeks out. Got a substitute on for Wigan. Looks like it's Forshaw. Right, Forshaw. Loose forward. Saw him in the first Sky match of the season against Widnes. Scored a good try. Put down again. So Wigan putting that ball down under pressure. And it's not been Wigan's night so far this evening. Leeds will have head and ball at the scrum. 22 minutes of this second half gone. Leeds leading by 18 points to nil. This is much better than any Leeds supporters could have hoped for coming across the Pennines. That's out to Golding and Schofield. Sean Edwards wrapping him up there. Steve Malloy. Devorty. Good play from Leeds. Every man a hero this evening. Jiggun. Can't get the ball out the tackle. Sixth tackle coming up. Leeds just settling it down. Not doing anything stupid. Devorty. Left-footed. Colin Morris. Gives a turnover instead of a penalty, but that's his decision. The crowd don't like it. But the Leeds fans certainly like that tackle on Calvin Skerritt. Hammered to the floor by Steve Malloy. Just what Leeds have been wanting to see this evening. Betts making no ground whatsoever against this incessant Leeds tackling. Superb display this evening from Leeds. Sean Edwards breaking for Wigan's. Panapa, this is good play from Wigan, just showing you how dangerous they can be. Dean Bell puts the kick forward. It's Leeds that fall on it. In the shape of John Bentley. Gary Schofield, I think it is. Vince Fawcett runs from acting half. Oh, Schofield covering. O'Neill, Leeds keeping it in the forwards and bringing it away with Mike O'Neill up to the 22. That's good running there from the former Widnes player, Schofield. 6th tackle coming up. Golding's kick. Sits up lovely for Steve Hampson. Hampson running it back towards the try line. Touchline side, sorry. An offside given there against Leeds. Wigan moving that ball now with Forshaw. Good tackling from Leeds, saving the day. Wigan starting to put it together a bit at the moment. Sean Edwards stopping, picking that ball up. He's wrapped up there, as you know. He escapes the clutches. Going for the corner. He's dropped the ball. And that's just about sums up Wigan this evening. Very disappointing. No pressure whatsoever there. He's to tackle around the legs. The ball spinning loose. Can't be easy this evening. Ball must be like a bar of soap. Another substitute. Ian Gillard coming on and David Myers coming off. Looks to be limping slightly. And Gillard will go into the pack, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out of the pack. It's going to be Dennis Betts. And he'll be certainly dangerous running out wide. Gary Schofield. 7th Leeds heel this evening. So far all the scrums have gone with head and ball. Steve Malloy. Schofield again. Does himself running out. Trying to run outside Sean Edwards. Irving. A good game this evening, Simon Irving. Devorti. Puts a left foot kicking, spinning. Steve Hampson will have to run for that one, and it's running, grubbing along the floor and grubbing many a mile back, and Hampson picks it up. And John Bentley brings him down. Dean Bell. In the short side. Andy Gregory still going with that ball. Takes some pulling down, does Andy Gregory. So Edwards now at first receiver. It's a lovely ball to Betts. It's intercepted by Vince Fawcett. And that was a high tackle by Skirrett. And referee Morris has seen it. Did well there, Vince Fawcett, in at the right place and made ground. And a high tackle from Skirrett. Won't go unpunished, the referee saw it. Waited to see if Leeds had the advantage and sent Skirrett on his way. So we've decided that the penalty is going to be from where the offence occurred and not where the man finished up. Only the 4th Leeds penalty of this game. Malloy. Leeds pressing again, the 22 again. Another try now would surely seal it if it isn't sealed already. 29 minutes gone, only 10 minutes left for play. Leeds 18, Wigan 0. Schofield drops a goal. Mr. Morris signals that's it, and Wigan have now to score 4 times to win this, and I can't see them doing that. Psychologically the right time for Gary Schofield to drop the goal. Position set up lovely there for the drop goal. Wigan kick off. And Gareth Stevens picks it up and heads back towards the halfway line. Devoted. Leeds will keep this ball running from match and half for the next 10 minutes if they have to. Certainly nobody could accuse Leeds of not winning in style this evening if they had that to win here at Central Park for the first time in league football in 11 seasons, and that's the style that they've won in. If they do it tonight, Mike O'Neill running 30 yards without a hand being laid on him. Wigan falling off like flies. Golding, Schofield, Devoted. They're almost up to the 22. Golding tries a chip over. Wigan on it. Joe Lydon. So a counter-attack from Wigan, and Roy Powell's chasing him and Gary Schofield. And Lydon's days of running 70 yards have long since disappeared. Sean Edwards puts a chip in. And Phil Ford gets that. Not the right thing to do there, Sean Edwards. Should have taken the 6 tackles and tried to settle play down, and Ford's got knees in the back. It's the 8th penalty to Wigan. And certainly the journey across the Pennines, a bit of a nightmare coming, but it's been certainly worth it for the action here as Richard Gunn splits the defence from act in half. Gets up to the 22. And if it takes me well midnight to get home, I will have a smile on my face all the way. Bobby Golding. 6 tackle signals Colin Morris. Schofield's kick is long and deep, and again it's over the head of Hampson, who has to trail back to pick it up, losing valuable time. Now, Panapa swerving. Oh, and Roy Powell catching him from behind. Well, Roy Powell's had to put a yard of pace on, or Sam Panapa's lost one. Clark, oh, that's a good play between Clark and Gregory. Sean Edwards going for that corner now. And again, Edwards pulled down by Ford. Good tackle from Phil Ford. Wigan certainly piling on the pressure now. Just a few yards short. Dangerous times for Leeds. And driven back there. I think Phil Ford's going to earn himself a spell in the sin bin. So with 8 minutes left, Phil Ford will not make a reappearance in this game, and that's 2 tries to Ford. He'll be disappointed. Scurry. Not a good pass. Sean Edwards is knocked on. So the head and ball leads, and a man short in the backs, but certainly not in the forwards. Bobby Golding picks it up, 7 minutes left for play. 19 points to nil, the Liners in the lead. Just scrum forming. And that's a penalty against Wigan at that scrum. Heading, butting before that's come together. And the Gregory coming over to the bench looking for inspiration. That ball dangerously close to my head. Malloy. Oh, great running from Steve Malloy. That's tremendous running from Steve Malloy. She'd gone in support, couldn't get the ball to him. Leeds have gone yards there. Schofield. Oh, that's a high tackle. And Well, Colin Morris has said that he was hit round the chest. That's unbelievable refereeing from Colin Morris. That's opting out of making a decision that should have been made there. He's just sent a Leeds player to the sin bin, and he's quite prepared to let that go. Mike O'Neill. Well, I haven't seen the Leeds Chief Executive Alf Davis here this evening. He might be at the firework display at Headingley. And if he is, he's certainly missed the fireworks here. Yeah, they've already puts the up and under up on the full there. Anderson trying to set Phil Clark on a run. And Leeds tackling like Trojans. Every man a hero this evening. And the Leeds supporters in the crowd behind me. Or to my right, just getting really behind Leeds now, and just how important this win will seem. All the other teams above Leeds have lost this today. And 2 points tonight for Leeds. Be more than welcome. Wigan fans already starting to leave. Betts. Gregory. A lovely ball out to Philip Clark. That's offside. But Leeds saving the day anyway, and that's offside. That's a penalty to Leeds. Sixth. Currently 8-6 Wigan have taken the penalties, and 8-7 Wigan have taken the scrums. 36 minutes showing on the scoreboard. There'll be just a couple of minutes probably stoppage time. But it's going to be a great victory for Leeds this evening. And I, for one, am absolutely over the moon. I've probably seen all those defeats in the last 10 seasons here at Central Park, and each one hurt more than the one before. Well, tonight I'm going to celebrate when I get home, and I don't care if it's midnight. In fact, I might ring Alf Davis up and see if he wants to celebrate with me. Eddie Schofield. Alf Davis, of course, a Wigan season ticket holder. And he'll be absolutely delighted tonight that Leeds are going to beat Wigan. And this will do the Leeds psychological boost, a power of good. Featherstone Rovers at home next week. Headingley, a match which incidentally will be on scrum down. Bobby Golding, a great game this evening, Bobby Golding. Played really well on Wednesday night for the under-21s and carried on where he left off tonight at Central Park. 3 minutes left for play, 37 minutes, 38 minutes on my clock and 37 on the scoreboard, and I started my clock when the kick-off went. It's just changed to 38 now. Mr. Morris says that went backwards, but we're going to have lost 10 metres at least there. Edwards. John Bentley comes back and wraps him up. In fact, it was Gareth Stevens. Gregory running with the ball. Pops it forward, straight out the windscreen. And didn't have his seatbelt on there. John Bentley again in the middle of the field. Running, bumping out of tackles. Off he goes again, Bentley. Richard Gunn. Roy Powell, what a great game Roy Powell's had. Tremendous running. Oh, and popping that ball up to the supporting gun again. O'Neill, straightening play up. Powell. Stevens, coming in the middle of the field. So a knock on the judge there. 39 minutes on the clock. Still Leeds 19, Wigan 0. And Andy Gregory got the man of the match award for Wigan, and that hasn't gone down very well with the crowd, I can tell you. But Leeds aren't bothered about that. They're defending a 19 points to 0 lead. with the man short. And here comes Sean Edwards. Another bad ball out from Edwards. And Panapa wrapped up man and ball by Matt Shaw, who's had a great game this evening. Well, 40 minutes on my clock gone, so Leeds are certainly going to win this one. It's a tremendous, famous victory. They've done it without a pack of forwards, and they've done it for the last 8 minutes without Phil Ford on the field. Andy Platt showing the ball. And there goes a hooter, and Leeds have won, and not only won in style and nilled Wigan, which is absolutely marvellous as far as I'm concerned. And the Leeds supporters on the field, running on in droves, the Wigan supporters booing their team off, and that's sad to see, but it's been a poor display from Wigan this evening. And Leeds, every reason to be absolutely over the moon about this. Well, I'd run through the scorers for you before I have a heart attack. It was Leeds who opened the scoring on 18 minutes with a try from Phil Ford after Gary Schofield cleverly kicked from the scrum, and Irving converted. Ford again scored after he picked up a loose ball on 38 minutes, and that's how it stood at half-time, 12 points to nil. Could Wigan come back? They threw everything at Leeds, but Leeds just held out, and then came away when John Bentley ran from first receiver, 75 yards, scored a try, near enough for Irving to convert, and it was all over. Gary Schofield just to make sure dropped a goal on 30 minutes, and Leeds for the last 10 minutes virtually with a man short, and made sure that Wigan have been nilled, and I repeat, nilled. And it's absolutely wonderful and a marvellous feeling to be here commentating this evening after Leeds knocked back an 11-year hoodoo, and that's the end of the game. And it's good night from Central Park with the news that the score is Wigan 0, Leeds 19.